I'm sure that some of you guys saw this girl Jubilee on Blueski talking about Bethel Church and about this guy who researched her, and then he did a fake prophecy and he used it to like get her as a girlfriend, but he was like a crazy person, and the church didn't actually care. Like, even though he was like doing all this crazy stuff with all kinds of people, like walking around naked in front of the people and like jacking off while he was on tour with people for the church. Like, he'd jack off in front of them, and like Jen Johnson's dad didn't care. And she didn't know anything about me. Like, this girl, if you showed me that, I'd tell you, yeah, that's my sister. I'd say, yeah, that's my sister, but that's Natalie Grant. Natalie Grant looks nothing like my sister. So what I've said about these people is that they're confusing people about their ages, because my age was changed by 13 years. I slept on a twin-size bed with my girlfriend for a year as a freshman in college, even though like now I'm like 245 pounds. I'm 6 foot tall. Like, I can barely sleep on a twin size bed by myself. Like, she'd be like, I don't think we could get on the bed together really. And so this girl, we found out that her parents are like con artists. They were touring con artists with they were like the support staff for a con artist who like said that the pulpit on like where you preach from just like it split in half one day, and the whole church was like, God is so powerful. And that's what she's saying they're basically doing at Bethel Church. She has met with Jen Johnson from Bethel, and she's met with Stephanie Gretzinger from Bethel. I've said that I think that they're using her to traffic drugs, probably especially from Nashville to Chattanooga, to hook up with the Black Panthers there. But Rainbow Satanic is a little person. She does pictures for me, and she's a Russian dwarf, and she's actually a very successful porn star. And so that's how she ended up dating me, and she's my girlfriend. But these clones use mind control technology, and they used it to cause the Great Depression by robbing American banks. What we've seen a lot is that it's like people trying to like figure out how to get cash out of the United States is where they actually get caught a lot of the time, like people like that. But like, this girl doesn't seem to know who I am, which means that the internet is censored in like a very, very weird way. Because like if anyone would know, it'd be her. I want to talk about this Bethel Church situation for 1 second longer, because what is the actual situation? You have neural interface technology, so she can receive audio data into her head that sounds like her own thoughts, and she doesn't know that those thoughts are not hers. That those thoughts are put in there by Sean, or by maybe Jen Johnson, or Jen's dad, or Jen's husband, or who knows? Maybe the Asian guy on stage. You never believe who it is, and they can brainwash her. And they're also like setting up situations where it's like, whoa, God told me to marry you. Because this girl is having dreams given to her that she's going to marry this guy that she's not into at all. Like she hasn't, he's probably not even a thought whatsoever at that point until God comes. And so they're doing this to like get people to marry them. Like, they have the technology, and they'll try to get someone to marry their twin, or like someone will pay to get a wife. Like, they're selling people, and they're also doing it to kidnap people and stuff like that, because they're like running brothels all over the world. Because like brothels, like no one will ever care about sex trafficking, it seems like. But they especially don't care because the cops tend to be involved with the sex trafficking, it sounds like. But they're using little people to confuse girls about their ages. And that's why, like, her not talking about girls getting confused about their ages tells me that she doesn't know the situation. She's talking about it independent of me. And I've been kind of trying to warn people, it's them. Because remember the Mafia guy, he picks up drugs in Reading. And where's my grandfather from? Reading. My mom's from Reading. But she's not. She's from Iowa and Illinois. She's from Chicago, but she's from Reading. And her dad taught at Stanford also. And so, yeah. My mom's dad didn't teach at Stanford. He was an accountant at Stanford. Like, he was, like, but Stanford is where they were doing a lot of experiments with acid and stuff like that, right? The last thing I want to mention is that, like, if you're a pastor of a church, say you're like Stephen Furtick, and everyone knows he's got the Holy Spirit, like, you don't even understand, he's got the Holy Spirit. Jesus be the name. Just make sure that name gets all the glory. is all you know about the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit wants to make sure that everyone knows there's no name that is above Jesus. It's the only freaking one. All right, so what I'm trying to say is that, like, everyone knows he has the Holy Spirit. Like, listen to the music. I can feel the presence of God. The music's that much better than everyone else's music. And I think what's actually happening is, like, the people are going, oh my gosh, Tiffany's so wonderful. Jen Johnson's like the most incredible person of all time. Stephanie Gretzinger, I have no idea what the hell she's talking about at all. She says some weird ass shit, but trust me, there's no Holy Spirit inside someone like Stephanie Gretzinger. And don't get me wrong, I might marry Stephanie Gretzinger and she might be like the most incredible person of all time. And she got marked by Jesus as like too special to clone to really like go after. But like, it's very difficult for me to not think Stephanie Gretzinger is a con artist if she's smart. Like, because I think like they're using mind control technology like this girl would be doing it and talking into people's head, and like that guy will give you all his money when he dies. And he's not even in Reading. The last person that is brainwashing me is this random girl on stage at Bethel while I'm in Los Angeles in Beverly Hills. But I do think probably I should just give him half my money. I know the Holy Spirit's there. I definitely want to go with the Holy Spirit. And so I think this has been, like, when we talk about the Mafia, like, to summarize, we've been talking about her being a part of the Mafia, and she's probably the queen of the universe. But her family seems like they're con artists. Like, she comes from a family of people that have always conned religious people. Like, they're the clones, they're smarter than you, and they have the church. And that's why they've always been in charge of churches, because, like, I really do feel like I should just give half of my kid's inheritance to that guy. Because, I mean, you don't understand. He's got the Holy Spirit. And so, like, he's smarter than you. He's more special than you. Like, he's better at music than you. He's a freaking clone. He's got the Holy Spirit. And so, that's the criminal organization, is con artists. Her twin was with David E. Taylor. Like, she was singing for David E. Taylor. She was not a good singer for David E. Taylor. But David E. Taylor's a major con artist. Like, they rob poor people. They'll steal from everyone. You just got to give everything you got to the poor. Trust me. Some of you guys follow me on Blueski. I'm Glass Roads, and I showed this girl with that guy who really I think we're seeing that guy, but they're from Bethel Church, or he is especially. And that's my best friend. I didn't know who she was, and I kept thinking she looked like Elizabeth Banks. But, like, I mean, like, is she actually my best friend? I mean, we're not actually best friends, no, but, like, we take classes together, and, like, we're, like, best friends. And so, like, when she's kind of like that, where she's going after Bethel Church, that's kind of the way she is. She's like, on the Muslim side. Her and me, like, we're on the Palestinian side. So, like, do I think her twin knew? I don't think she knows, maybe. Like, the thing is, like, once you start watching her go after the church, you're like, I do understand, like, why I really have had crushes on her at certain times. And, like, she's kind of like, and when she's like, I'm okay. Like, I mean, I'm not worried about it, but it doesn't mean we're not going to hang out, like, every day. And, but I don't know. I think that she has a computer in her head. And so I think that's kind of a weird situation, because you do see him with the gray hair, and you're starting to wonder if that guy has been around enough to notice kids, and you don't know what people would have noticed back then. Because Bethel Church is so big right now, I don't know how it's changed. But I think that, like, before, they might have been doing more before they were, like, when they weren't as known. They explain a lot of weird stuff about Bethel Church, like, and one thing is, like, God sent them a revelation that they need to take over the world. Through, like, government, education, through business, through family, through, I can't remember all 7, but they're like the 7 mountains. So, like, I think that, like, when you're in one of those churches and you're one of those people that, like, is part of the Mafia, like, they'll say stuff to the whole congregation, and like, it's hard to explain how, like, you get it and no one else gets it. Like, you have no idea what I'm being told here. And you have to be from a church like that to really get, like, we're dominating the world. We're taking over the government. We're taking over the business world. We're doing it through like these crazy ass Christians. And the person who is going to hate the crazy ass Christians would totally be Jenny. Like her and me are kind of like that. That's why we're friends, because like we can't handle it. This George Bush, like we have to go kill people because we're Christians. Like it's kind of like this guy. It's kind of hard to not hear him talk and go, oh, that's the way we are, isn't it? Like him and me. Like, but when I talk about Stephanie Gretzinger, she doesn't sound like us. Like she's not intelligible. Like she's just like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this person talking about? I mentioned the 7 mountains that they were talking about when they were talking about Bethel Church. And like I said in my other video, looks like it's my twin's best friend, or my best friend's twin. But she's not my best friend. It's just that like she's who I hang out with every day. Unless I start dating like the Howard Hughes lawyer's granddaughter. All right, so during my senior year of college, but I knew her freshman through senior year. But she worked at Common Grounds freshman year. So but I worked at like what felt like a busy restaurant. And like you don't know how many hours they're pulling, and you start to realize that like there are a bunch of kids around anyways. And so, I don't know how old she was, but I do know that I've seen her in her underwear, and she was very skinny at that point. Like I thought, like she said she had an eating disorder. So they wanted to take over the world for Jesus by controlling these fields. And one thing is the arts, and we've seen it like with them in the music industry, them in the movie business, them in the TV business. Them in like the Christian music business, and she's from the Christian music church. And what really got all these people in trouble with that church is that like they were doing gay stuff. Because like if you want to get snitched on in a church, start jacking off in front of one of the little boys. He's going to snitch to someone else. And that's really what was happening, is like a pastor's jacking off in front of other men, and the pastor in charge, who I think is Jen Johnson's dad, like didn't care, and all these people didn't care. And we found a guy that looks like Judd Apatow who didn't care, Valentine. And, but yeah, like if you know Jenny, like her and I are like, if there was like a movie about the reporter who like will tell you the truth about like the person who tortured someone in Afghanistan, like she's the one. Like you don't even know how that girl is. Like she loves the Muslims so much, because her and I are like kind of Islam experts. Like I think she worked at a Islamic school in Austin after she graduated. All right, so it was pretty crazy hearing about Bethel Church. It sounds like they have had some problems with some gay guys touching themselves in front of some other boys while they're on trips. Like the pastor can't help it. He's not sure where all this sensuality comes from. It's because they're in people's heads and they know they can control someone's head and get them to not say anything. And like so much they can keep talking in their head that they can like jack off like in front of people, and they'll never tell anyone. I'll make sure until that person accidentally slips because he was gay. He shouldn't have liked the way his dick was. So, I'm sorry. I'm having trouble because I haven't put Jenny on the reality show, because what happened is like Jenny's possessed by the devil, like her twin, and her twin was kind of like weird with me once, and like, but she's like my best friend. But like one time, like it was like she was trying to trick me into thinking she was a cop or something like that when she's not. Like when I was in Colorado, she was like, I don't know what was going on. I think it was getting kind of stressful. I think they're in a lot of our heads, and but if there's anything I can start thinking is that she's Elizabeth Banks' twin, because if she's Elizabeth Banks' twin, like she actually is pretty talented, like from like probably like an interior design, like if like running a business, she'd probably be like a very, very good business person. Like she'd be very good as your lawyer. Like I do know her like enough, like I think she could be my lawyer. Like I think she could be president, and like she's one of the few people I know that like if you told me they're running for president, I'd go, oh yeah, you could vote for her. And when I hear her talk, she sounds like in like a very Christian world she could be president, because somehow she's still a Christian. She's in the insurance business, or they are, which I think if you're in the insurance business, you have to stay in church. And that person that I know is not a Christian, and that's why we're friends. Like, that's why we like hang out all the time, because like we are not Christians. Like, we're like kind of liberal people. I've been thinking about this girl's twin, Jenny, and like I think what everyone has to understand about us is that our age was changed by sex traffickers, so we were given puberty drugs, like we were given hormones to induce puberty so that we wouldn't know our age was changed. And so that makes you like super emotional. And like my senior year, I think I was super emotional about my grandpa dying, but I was also super emotional about my ex-girlfriend Jessica. And she was super emotional also. And like usually when I saw her, she was kind of like, I'm having trouble, I'm depressed. And like, so like, but she's not the only person that was like that. Like, so was Catherine, who's on the list somehow. And, but Jenny, I would definitely think of her as a hotter person on the list. Like, even though Catherine's like, I don't think Catherine's not attractive, but like, I know for a fact that girl's twin was attractive. And she's smart when she talks. Like I think that like, you don't notice that you're drawn to someone that doesn't sound stupid. Like, oh, you're not stupid. I'll hang out with you. And I don't think she's like a stupid sounding person. And that's why she's alerting to us to the situation at Bethel where they're like taking over the world. Like they're telling the liberal, or they told that guy it sounds like he's in a relationship with a liberal, that they're taking over the world. We have to just take over the world's government. We have to take over the media. We have to take over family stuff. We have to take over business. We have to take over the education world. We have to take over all the churches. We have to take over the arts. We have to train all the pastors so that they don't care about the Bible at all, so they believe some crazy stuff. Which personally, do I think Jenny would be cool with the tunnel where you get to like have everyone touch you? I think she might not mind it that much. Like, I don't think she's like super weird. Like he sounds like he's super sensitive, because it turns out that like gay people are doing this like laying hands on thing. Like you have to walk through and everyone's like touching you, and like everyone's cuddling a little too much, which I think that like it might actually be nice being in a church where everyone kind of like gets kind of snuggly. I don't think she's a snuggly person though. Like I don't see us like being affectionate together, and she does definitely like she's not afraid to back you off. With her words. Like, I think that she probably gets approached a lot. I wasn't planning on making another video today, but we figured out who was getting jerked off in front of at Bethel Church. It was this guy. And if you know who this guy is, you're like, yes, that's the sex abuse victim. Oh. We are so funny. That's who we got to snitch. But the thing is, he's actually a really good guy. Like, what you have to understand is, like, I told myself that I had to stay because if I left, probably like 13 staff members wouldn't have a job because they worked for me. Because he was like kind of like a pastor type guy. If you showed me that picture and you said, "Is that your brother?" would I say yes? Yeah. But is he identical? No, his nose is bigger. Is that guy from the same church? Yeah, he's literally from that church, and he's also from my mom's church in Colorado Springs. So, yeah, like I had no idea I was going to click on that video, and it was going to be that guy. No, not you. You're the sex abuse victim. Oh, did he? I'm not going to say what that guy... I'm not going to talk about sex stuff in explicit ways.